A 4-0 loss in our second friendly. What can you take from that?
Like strangely, if people seeing a 4-0, was actually for us quite a lot of positives. To be fair, you need to have games in pre-season against teams who are superior to you. You have to, because if you play against teams on par or below us, your tier 5 or lower tier 4 teams, the game's only a certain way. So I wanted a game like today. I think it's so important to have it at this point, because there's outcomes that are not necessarily in possession, but today the outcomes for us were out of possession stuff, the physicality. We knew we weren't going to have a lot of the ball at all. I was actually really pleased to see the strength of their side, because it allowed us to have a game where we didn't have a lot of the ball. We had to work on a bit of shape, and the physical side of things was tough, and that's great because you want to have that in pre-season. That's what it's all about. Up to a certain point, you don't want to be having that as your last game of the season, of course you don't, but at this point, that's exactly what we need. So there's a lot of positives. You take the score out of it, we were competing with them, not in large parts because of how the game went, but little snippets we were competing. We had had a few quite really good chances, to be fair. And there was, especially first half, I would say there were lots of passages where we contained them, we had good shape, and we were working hard off the ball. Second half, not so much, because we were knackered basically.
And what was your personal highlights from the match?
Yeah, probably just that. I mean, I would say personally, I've got massive respect. They allowed us to have Dylan, their keeper, which I know is not ideal at all, because we can't be borrowing keepers from the opposition. I do know that. But this morning, we had 2 goalies this morning in the squad doing half and half, and they both pulled out. So I've got massive respect and appreciation to Pez. He pretty much replied to me straight away saying he'd asked Dylan to play. So I'm really pleased that there's been that gesture towards them, and Kai, their keeper got injured, so they let us have him. So I think from a respectful perspective, that was a really good gesture. So I'm very thankful for that. And then from our perspective, like I said, it's what we got out of it. We got lots out of tonight. We got lots of their boys in there are knackered, so that's a good thing. They took on tactical information, which is a good thing. We were low on numbers tonight, so that wasn't ideal. But again, it allowed the lads to have more minutes in their legs. So yeah, we've got a good So that's it basically. So we'll look forward to next week. Yeah.
Right, thanks very much.
Cheers, Rob.